They didn't notice her at first. When they did, they laughed. At a NATO forward base buzzing with authority, rank, and ego, she stood quietly near the operations room. Uniform plain, posture relaxed. Someone muttered, "Who is she?" Another smirked. No one imagined that in less than a minute, she would silence the room with a single sentence that carried absolute command. Before I tell you what happened next, tell me in the comments where you're rewatching from. I love knowing who's listening. Her name was Annika Voss, though few here had ever heard it spoken aloud. She had learned long ago that anonymity was a shield. It allowed her to observe without being observed, to measure rooms by the way people filled silence. And this room, thick with accents, clipped voices, and restless boots, was drowning in assumptions. The base hummed with tension. Screens glowed with maps marked in red and amber. Radios crackled softly, their voices layered with urgency. Outside, rotor wash stirred dust into the sunlight, making the air feel alive, almost impatient. A joint task force briefing had stalled. Protocol demanded clearance. Clearance demanded confirmation. And confirmation was late. Annika stood still, hands clasped behind her back, listening. She could feel the weight of the moment pressing in not fear, but responsibility. She had been sent here quietly, deliberately unannounced. If everything went right, no one would remember her name. If it went wrong, many lives would depend on how quickly she acted. A senior officer paced, irritation creeping into his voice. We can't wait any longer. Either we move blind, or we abort. Someone scoffed behind Annika. And who's she? Translator? The laughter was brief, dismissive. It brushed against her like static. She had heard worse. She always did. Inside, her thoughts sharpened. This was the line. Step forward now, and the room would change forever. Stay silent, and the mission might fail. The moral tension settled deep in her chest. Authority without recognition was fragile, but silence, she knew, could be deadly. She took one step forward. The movement was small, almost lost amid the noise. But when she spoke, her voice was calm, clear, precise. Command verification, she said, reciting the code. The room froze. Not metaphorically. Truly. Conversations died. Mid-breath, a chair creaked as someone leaned forward. The officer stopped pacing. Every eye turned toward her, not with mockery now, but confusion edging into shock. She continued, voice steady, delivering the secondary authentication. Then the tertiary. Each phrase exact, each word unmistakable. Someone near the console whispered, That's live command. Annika met the officer's gaze. Mission authorization confirmed. You're clear to proceed. Silence followed. Thick. Reverent. Then motion erupted like a tide. Orders snapped into place. Hands flew across consoles. Radios came alive with urgency and purpose. Soldiers moved with sudden clarity, like a body that had finally received its heartbeat. No one laughed anymore. As the mission launched, Annika stepped back, her role complete. She watched the room transform chaos into cohesion, doubt into direction. This was why she existed in the margins. Not to be seen, but to ensure others survived. Her mind drifted briefly to the past, to the years of training where she'd been overlooked, doubted, underestimated. 2 moments when speaking up had cost her trust, friendships, comfort. She had learned restraint the hard way. Power, when wielded quietly, traveled farther. The officer approached her, slower now, measured. You could have said something sooner, she nodded. I know, why didn't you? Annika paused. The truth was simple and heavy, because sometimes people need to reveal themselves before they're ready to listen. He studied her, respect dawning where arrogance had lived. Who are you? She offered a small, almost imperceptible smile. Someone who makes sure the right words are spoken at the right time, outside. Helicopters lifted into the sky, blades slicing through dust and sunlight. The mission was underway clean, coordinated, alive. Around her, whispers spread, not mocking now, curious, reverent. A few heads nodded as understanding settled in. She had changed the room without raising her voice, without demanding attention. And in that moment, the base felt different, quieter, more aware. Annika turned toward the exit, boots echoing softly against the floor. She didn't wait for applause. She never did. She believed in outcomes, not recognition. Because kindness doesn't vanish. It waits, and it finds its way back. As she stepped outside, the dust settled again, sunlight cutting through the air just as it had when they laughed. Only now, the laughter was gone, replaced by something deeper. Respect. Reflection. She blended back into the rhythm of the bass, another figure among many. But the echo of her words lingered, proof that authority doesn't always announce itself. Sometimes it whispers once and changes everything. If this story moved you, tell me in the comments what moment made you pause. And subscribe to Whispered Words for more mission stories where quiet courage leaves the loudest mark.